If everybody could start off, join me, take one big deep breath in and out. One more time with an audible exhale in and out. It feels good to be a human. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, which is humanity and technology and the intersection there. Because for the first time in history, 2 billion people are jacked into the same machine. And when a few people in Silicon Valley bump their elbows and make a couple changes, it affects 2 billion people, and that's never happened before. And now, obviously, and I think that last presentation was a beautiful example of how wonderful technology can be. And so I started paying attention to this actually in marketing. I spent more time understanding what works in the Facebook newsfeed than any human being should. And I found this. I found that the things that worked really well are extreme statements and telling people something they already believe. Budweiser is the greatest beer. Does a whole lot better in social media than here's how Budweiser is made. And you'd think the second would be a more interesting story. And the other piece is showing people something they already believe. And so, for example, showing people who like to have a drink, people having a drink, and that works really well. And you might be thinking, who cares what Budweiser is doing on social media at this point in my career? I'm also thinking that. But I started to notice news organizations doing the exact same things I was doing. Changing the nature of the stories they were telling, changing the ways they were telling that story based on little changes in that Facebook algorithm. And if that weren't bad enough, the algorithm itself, constantly optimizing for engagement, is always improving and always changing to give more people ideas that they already believe. And there is so much data, they're so good at it. Do you remember that time you scrolled through her pictures for a full 20 minutes but didn't like anything? Good. Facebook remembers. Facebook remembers everything you've ever clicked on, what you've hovered over and for how long, what you like, share, and comment on, whose profiles you visited, and how deep you've gone. Facebook owns Instagram. And Instagram tracks the location of every picture you've ever taken. Facebook owns WhatsApp. And what's that but a way to track your messages back across your social graph? Facebook knows. And Facebook likes to show you content you'll like ideas you've already liked and people with like ideas. So what happens when our perception of the world becomes an algorithm designed to feed us what's already on our minds versus opening our minds, expanding our minds, and leaving our preconceived notions behind? What happens in America when Democrats are fed only hero stories about Democrats and horror stories about Republicans? When exactly the inverse is true too, then what happens? And it's not just politics, but with any conflict, what happens when it becomes completely impossible to empathize with the other side because we're immersed in the confines of our own minds and like minds, and I want to like your mind, even if it isn't like mine. But anatomically, it's almost exactly like mine, but you've been taught differently than I. Your values differ from mine, and that's fine so long as we're open to each other's sides and don't resort to clawing out each other's eyes, getting so trapped in our beliefs that we hide condemning evidence that hurts our side with secrets and with lies. And if you took that last line about hiding, condemning secrets and lies to be about the other side, it's not. It's about your side, and I say that to all the sides. The truth matters most when it is not on your side. And don't get me wrong, social networks can be powerful forces for good, and we should empower those being silenced by tyrants, give a voice to the quiet and misunderstood. But can we get some transparency? Because recently I've been trying to hide my browser history from everybody. Just because I don't want the internet classifying me, I want to see what the world wants me to see without being encumbered by all these algorithmic biases. My reasons for desiring so much privacy are less about what you're taking and more about what you're serving me. And I know I could turn on the tab of recency, but so long as everyone else is subject to being test subjects in digital laboratories, I'd like to keep them company. And if you're not convinced this filtration system's dangerous, think about that child growing up digitally ingrained in ISIS and what he might think the value of a life is. And then try and understand that our cultural bubble has us believing something almost as troubling. And we're blinded to it as with every affirmation, our beliefs will be redoubling, and I don't claim to be able to navigate the maze that I'm describing. But let's take this moment together, recognizing that our world is a story these algorithms are co-writing. So let's seek out opposing opinions actively, respect our opposition's intelligence, explore alternatives with empathy, because there are some things that Facebook, Google, this whole personalized web doesn't know. It doesn't know the emotional impact of constant FOMO. It doesn't know how gratifying it is to overcome discomfort and truly grow. It doesn't know that there are some people I need to let go, even if I'll never stop clicking her photo. It doesn't know how much the world needs voices with which we don't agree, how badly we need empathy for our fellow human beings. Everybody thinks they're the good guy. Everybody's not wrong because they disagree. There's data to back up their opinions too. Our world now has so much bias that it's rare to find an ounce of truth, and the moment we stop looking for it actively, we lose. These algorithms don't care about bringing humanity together. Do you? Thank you. So I left the world of marketing, but not that quickly. Quick show of hands, how many people here have ever looked down at your phone and then immediately gotten distracted and forgotten why? And so most of you and some liars, beautiful. And so that used to be my job. I was designing notification structures to take you out of your world and bring you into mine, because we were told if we could keep your attention for 2 minutes or longer, we could raise our Series A at a high valuation. So I was designing notifications. Which friends should I put first in your likes? What exactly should that message copy be? And we've gotten so good at distracting you that we need to rethink if this is actually the world that we want to live in. And I realized that as architects of our digital world, we need to be better. Because we can be. And we can see that these systems have been designed with intricacy so that companies can keep our attention indefinitely. I don't want to keep crushing these freaking candies. I don't want these alerts to completely command me. I don't care if that panda bear is dancing. Well, maybe. With a hula hoop. Okay, this is fantastic. I have to share this with my 10 friends and 10,000 strangers. Caption, who wants to throw a panda rager? Great, let me go back about my life. For God's sakes, I'm trying to right swipe my wife. It's been 30 seconds and just 2 Facebook likes? Or is that just 2 for which I've been notified? Let me go back and check inside and see whose likes it tried to hide. They don't show them all. I wonder why. This panda's dancing. And another video plays after automatically. This one of a gopher that stage turns dramatically. It's like my attention is kept systematically raptured by algorithms that know exactly what I want. Or not what I want, just what I'll watch. And the people behind this intelligent design genuinely want to better our lives. But their bonuses just so happen to be tied to keeping time on site exceptionally high. And now even my news apps have been gamified. And what am I, not gonna click that one simple sex tip guaranteed to blow her mind? Wait, where was I? And why have I forgotten to look for that thing I'm supposed to find? And my God, look at the time. It is shocking. But somehow, yes, Netflix, I am still watching. And I know. I should have more self-control. But just so we're clear, you just spent a couple $1 million producing this story designed to cut off at the end, leaving me wanting more. See, of course, I want to see what you have in store. See my cursor already waiting there on the screen floor as you tease the next hour in all of its glory, and you'll give it to me unless I actively abort. See, it seems this decision's already made for me. The countdown clock's moving. There it goes. 5, 4, 3. I need to sleep. But you made me want this more. This is not what I consciously signed up for when I hit play on one episode 6 hours ago. Architects of our digital world, you have more data, information, and control over our attention, the tools to tweak our emotions so we'll return to your experience, but is that what we should do? Or should you build digital tools so advanced they can actually enhance the world outside the device in our hands? Can you add so much value that it lets us put our phones back in our pants as fast as we possibly can? Not time-sucking, time-giving innovation. That's what it means to be truly technologically advanced. The future is not all screens. It's humanity enhanced. Thank you. So I'm going to share one more piece with you before I go. And one of the reasons this is so dear to my heart, and outside of this work, I'm with something called the Center for Humane Technology, which I encourage you all to check out, trying to realign the incentive structures behind this digital ecosystem so that we are not the customer, or sorry, that we're not the product being sold for the benefit of advertising. It's only going to get worse. We are stuck in meat suit 1.0, and technology is moving at exponential rates. We absolutely need technology to protect our minds, because there are some things that just work at grabbing and steering our attention, and there are societal scale consequences of that. And we see VR, an incredibly engaging medium on the horizon, which can be used for great things. But I'm worried about the same incentives behind that environment. And I was at Disney World as an adult, which I don't recommend, actually. And I don't know, how many people here grew up watching some of the Disney movies? All right, good. So I love them, and there was an exhibit. You put on a headset, you're going through all the Disney movies, and there was one moment, it's obviously very engaging, and has the sound, has the sight taken care of, and then you dive into The Little Mermaid, and they drop water from the ceiling. And I felt it, and I felt like I saw the future at Disney World, and it wasn't real. Or not real like I know real. Not real like I've defined real, but we dove into the virtual sea, and I felt the water splash across my face. I heard the ocean in my ears. I saw a mermaid singing right in front of me, and I could touch, well, right through her. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? And I can't be the only one to see the irony that she wants to be where the people are. She wants to see them dancing. But as a representative sample of supposed to be dancers, we're fine, thank you, content here in our minds, thank you. Let's turn reality to channel 259, thank you. Walking around on those, what are they called again? Who remembers? Scene change to behind Aladdin and Jasmine on their magic carpet ride. And as I'm marveling at this new fantastic point of view, I realize love could live here too. I could build a whole new world with you, an adventure with you, fly through skies of green and trees of blue. This shining, shimmering, splendid gift is now available for just $19.99 when Squarespace meets Oculus Rift. Scene change to the African plains to where Simba and Nala are playfully playing. So close that I'm literally part of their game, but I can't quite feel the wrestling. Not yet. But give it time, we're still developing. We'll make simulation much more like the real thing. You'll have complete control over everything because we just can't wait to be king. We just can't wait to rule over the worlds we create rather than participate in one we share. And we'll be able to build our own world soon. Let's have tea in Morocco this afternoon. And this evening, I'll build you a palace on the moon, and we'll sip soup on silver spoons, and for dessert, we'll have gravity removed. Float through the cosmos with oxygen tubes. I've rejiggered the physics on Mars and Neptune to make them more suitable for you. Our minds' worlds have different rules. We're no longer bound by atmosphere, nature's limitations. Wiped clear, you can turn people on and off in here. So by reality channel 8365, my world's only touched by those I decide. I'm completely immersed in the confines of my own mind, opposing ideas left swiped aside. But maybe eventually we'll come to find that we needed each other this whole damn time. Maybe this world we're the tiniest piece of has a system of balance we would never dream of, pushing us somewhere we won't consciously scheme up. Maybe we shouldn't have all this power. Maybe going forwards is backwards. Maybe we should go lie in the grass and make love without glasses, even if it barely stimulates orgasm. Classic. I want to be where the people are. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wish I could be wandering free, part of that world. Thank you guys very much. Technology is obviously a beautiful tool. Let's use it to enhance humanity. Let's really think about what our goals are. Let's really think about human values. The future starts right now. Thanks again.